Hello, and welcome to the Directed Machines tutorial for using telemetry devices. To begin, the first thing you'll want to do is open your preferred web browser and navigate to directedmachines.com/dashboard/UI. Once you're there, please enter the login credentials supplied in your welcome packet. After clicking Submit, you should see a screen that looks something like this. This page represents a global view of your entire fleet of telemetry devices, which are represented on screen by these orange Directed Machines icons. There are two methods for viewing the activity of an individual telemetry device. The first method is to simply click on any one of these orange icons. The second method, which I'll show you now, starts by clicking the Fleet Management button in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. You should now see a display box like the one you see here. It's worth noting that yours may have fewer controls than mine, depending on the level of access you've been granted by system administrators. Either way, you'll see all the options you should need to use the system's basic functionality. The first thing you want to do is narrow down the fleet to the list of devices you want to see, and there are two ways to do that. The first method is to type in the applicable keyword in the Search Fleet box right here. This search field can best be used by creating a keyword taxonomy that allows for effective filtering. You can find those keywords displayed down here in your fleet list, located in these white boxes, and you can edit those keywords by clicking these edit buttons. The second methodology for filtering down your fleet list is to use the group settings. Right here, there are several group settings that allow for filtering of certain variables. One of the fastest ways to find a specific device in your fleet is by filtering for the email address of the person assigned to that device. Once you've narrowed down the fleet, the next thing you might want to do is set the time span that you're interested in viewing. There are several common options available to choose from, and you can further narrow those down by refining the start and end dates. Depending on your preferences, you can also change the unit of measurement right here to something other than the default, which is miles. Now that you've configured your fleet management variables, you can click here on Generate Report to see a quick summary of the activity based on the devices, time span, and unit of measurement that you've chosen. If you don't want to generate a report of device activity, then you can skip the time and unit settings on this screen and simply navigate to the specific device that you want to view. Again, you can do that by clicking on the orange icon of any device you see displayed on the map, or you can click on the device's keyword box down here in your fleet list. Once you've narrowed in on a specific device, you should see a screen that looks something like this. By default, the map will only display the device's activity during the past hour. In order to set different variables, start by clicking the Controls and Settings button in the upper left-hand corner, which should display a box that looks something like this. Again, your controls may be a little different depending on your access rights. You'll notice this box contains the same time and unit controls that we saw on our global fleet management display. So, go ahead and configure the variables you want to display and then hit the refresh button right here. Depending on the time span you've chosen, rendering the data on the map can take a handful of seconds because it's pulling a lot of data. Once it loads, your screen should display the activity like you see here. By zooming in on the map, you'll notice that individual data points become visible, and you'll be able to see the distance driven, speed, and time associated with specific data points. Note that back here in the Controls and Settings box, you can also see the total distance driven during the time span you've selected. Once you've reviewed the activity for this device and are ready to move on, you can navigate back to the Global Fleet Management screen by clicking on this bar graph icon down here in the lower left-hand corner. Now we're back where we started, and that's the basics for how to use our fleet management software for tracking telemetry devices. If you'd like additional support for more advanced functionality, please refer to our support wiki for more tutorials. Thank you for being a valued Directed Machines customer, and please give us a thumbs up if you found this tutorial beneficial.